guys, welcome back to my vanity. So as you can see by the title, today I am doing my everyday makeup look. It's pretty simple, no eyeshadow, no lashes, no lipstick, just a little gloss. So if you want to see how I got this look and how I do my everyday makeup, then just keep on watching.
Don't call me when your man around, only when your friend is down. I'm just trying to pull your panties down. Bitch, you know I ain't playing around. Don't call me when your man around, only when your friend is down. I'm just trying to pull your panties down. Bitch, you know I ain't playing around. Yeah, I ain't tryna be your main nigga. I can be your side nigga. Slide up in them thousand, then go look up in the sky with you. A different connection, I'm just trying to multiply with you. Top off of my coupe, I'm just trying to go and ride with you. I ain't playing no games with you. Tell me what you want.
So I'm gonna start off with brows. As you can tell, my brows are very dark, and so I don't really do much to them. So first I'm gonna start off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade. And I'm taking the Anastasia brush. This is the brush 12, and I just kind of start at the bottom and I outline the bottom, but then I flick out at the end to make a little tail. My eyebrows are kind of bushy right now. And then I do the same on top, starting here and outlining it. As I keep going, you're gonna notice that I don't touch the front of my brow. I don't fill that in at all, so I'm just following this shape. And I like it to be more rounded right here, so I'll round it out more. And then just meet up with the line that we made at the bottom. Now I do my brows so messy, but I'm gonna clean it up with concealer anyways. So then I just take the spoolie on the other end. This is what a spoolie looks like, and I'm just going to blend what I just filled in with the front of my brow. Now I know that a lot of people don't have thick dark brow hairs like I do, but I do the same things for clients that I have that have thinner hair, or their hairs aren't as dark as mine. I do the same steps with them. I don't touch the front of the brow. I'm just repeating, filling in any gaps that I see. So that's what the brow looks like after. That's what it looks like before. Okay, so if you can kind of see here, you can see where I didn't fill it in and where I did. So I just went back in with the spoolie and brushed it out. And then on this eyebrow, I kind of wiped it off already, but I went a little too much in the front, so I just go in and wipe it off like this. And then I'll just go back in with the spoolie and blend it in. This is the way that I do my brows. I like more of the ombre styled brow, where it's thinner in the front and then it gets darker towards the end. That's just my personal preference. But now, since we filled in our brows, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia clear brow gel, and I'm just gonna run this through my eyebrows to keep my hairs down so they're not going everywhere. Now I'm taking my Born This Way Too Faced concealer in the shade Light Beige, and I'm just gonna put this underneath my brow. You don't want to do it right underneath. You want to leave some space so you have room to blend it out. And then I'm taking this brush. It's a squared brush. This is an Eco Tools brush. I don't know what number it is. And I'm just cleaning up, following right underneath the brow. And I personally do it right here on the top of my nose, just so that way I can line it up with the other side, so that way I know that they're even. And remember, your brows are sisters, not twins. Heck, sometimes my brows are cousins, so don't feel bad if they don't look even. So this is what the brows are looking like right now. So now I'm just going to add more concealer on my lid to use it as a base for eyeshadow, or even if you aren't wearing eyeshadow, just so everything blends together. Then I'll put more concealer on my eyelid, and then I'll take a dry beauty blender. I know a lot of people use their beauty blenders wet. And in my opinion, I've used a wet beauty blender, and to me, it soaks up my foundation and it makes the foundation not as full coverage. So then I'm going in with more foundation, wasting more foundation when I can just use a dry blender and it won't soak up my foundation. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, excuse my beauty blender, it is dirty. Sorry, I'm human. So I'll just go in here and blend this out. I know some people use like an eye base for, I'll blend it in right here too where my nose is. I know some people like to use an eye base for their eyeshadows, but I feel like that's just an unnecessary extra step. So I just use concealer as an eye base or an eye primer, whatever you want to call it. So now after I do my brows, I go in with a primer. So today I'm going to be using the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. This is what it looks like. And I just put this in my T-zone. So for me, I have oily skin. But lately it's been a little bit dry. So I'll go in with, depending on how long I'm going to be wearing the makeup. If I'm not going to be wearing it that long, then I'll go with the hydrating one just because my face will be dry. But as the day goes on, it'll get really oily. So then I'll go in with a matte. And I always put it in my T-zone, which is on your nose, on your chin, right here, the little triangle of your cheeks, and on your forehead, on the center of your forehead. So now I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty foundation. This is the shade 290. This is the Pro Filter, and I'm going to put it on my little Still palette. Go back in with my dry beauty blender, and I just put it everywhere. I know some people don't like to put foundation under their eyes because they're going with the concealer. Because they think that it looks cakey, and it might be cakey on them. I mean, people have different skin types, so some things that work for me might not work for you, and vice versa. But this is what works for me. So I'll put foundation under my eyes and then go in with the concealer and put that under my eye as well, just so that I get that extra coverage. So right now, as you can see, I'm like bouncing it. You don't want to rub because then it's gonna leave streaks in your foundation and you don't want that. And then for me, usually if I'm wearing a lipstick, I'll put foundation over my lips just because I feel like it makes my lips like a blank canvas, and whatever lipstick shade that I'm going to be wearing, it shows its true color and it just looks more pigmented. So I know I look a little crazy right now, but I wanted to show you guys how I clean up my brows on the top. So instead of going in with the concealer on top, which I used to do, because I use a lighter concealer, which you probably can't really tell on camera, but it would show a white shadow above my eyebrows, so you could tell that I used concealer to carve out my brows. So instead of doing that, I use concealer to carve out my brows on the bottom, and I use whatever foundation I'm going to be wearing to clean up my brows on the top. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And you're basically just going to do the same thing you did on the bottom, just following the line of your brow. And honestly, you can do it however thick or thin. You can make your brows thinner. I usually try to make my eyebrows look thinner because I do have naturally thick brows, and if my brows aren't done, then my eyebrows just look crazy. And if you mess up, it's fine. Just go back in with your pomade or whatever you're using and fill in the spot that you accidentally wiped off. And then there's a nice point at the end. The point too, if you mess up the point, just go back and fill it in. Or if you make your point too long, like how mine's getting a little long, just go in and wipe it off. Like so. And then just go in with your beauty blender and blend it all out. Okay, so now with whatever's left on my beauty blender, I'll just go in and pounce this in between my brows. And a trick that I've learned years ago is that, and I'll go in where it has nothing on it and I'll just blend it some more because I don't want it to look harsh. But like I was saying, a trick that I learned for the brows is that you could take a brush and basically the end of your eye at an angle is where your eyebrows should end, and where the tip of your nose is, on the side of the tip of your nose, that's where your eyebrow should start. So that's how you know where to start and end your brow. So I don't know if you can tell on camera or not. I think it pretty much oxidized now, which means the foundation got darker. So even if I think a foundation is my perfect match, I'll blend it down my neck because I don't want to take pictures and then you be able to tell that my face is darker or lighter than my neck. I just don't like that at all. And I also order foundations online sometimes, and it's kind of harder to pick your shade. So I just do this so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now that we have that done, sorry my hair looks crazy, I gotta get these pieces out the way so you guys can see. So after you do that, you're gonna take your concealer again. This is the same concealer I've been using. And I put a lot of this. Personal preference, like I said. So for me, I do it under my eye, kind of like in a triangular shape. And I also put it on the side of my nose right here. And I use quite a bit, but you'll see why here in a second. So this concealer really isn't that much lighter than my foundation, but usually I will go in with a lighter concealer just so that way I have a bright under eye. So then I'll just blend this in the corner of my eye. Hope you guys can see. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the mirror next to me. I'll blend this in the side of my nose and in the corner of my eye. Can you see that? And then I'll bring it to the top of my lip. And then take it to the side, basically where my temple is at. Do the same on this side, bringing it towards my lip. Blending out the side of my nose and my inner corner. While I'm blending it out, I'm still keeping that triangular shape under my eye. And then with whatever is left on the beauty blender, I'll pounce it on my chin. And then wherever there's no product on the beauty blender, blend it out. And then I'll put it in the center of my nose. Like that. So then after that, I'll take my powder. Today I'm going to be using the Fit Me in the shade Fair. And I'm just going to take another dry beauty blender. This time I'm using a regular sized one. And I'm just pressing in the powder like this. Pressing it in the inner corner and all under my eye so we don't get any creases. Now when you're about to apply your powder, if you're already creasing up, just go ahead and go back in with your beauty blender, blend it out, and then go in with your powder. So you're basically just putting it everywhere where you just put your concealer. And I used to bake, which is kind of what I'm doing now. This is called the baking method. But I kind of don't leave it on there that long because I noticed that it'll look a little dry. So for me, I just put it on there for a little bit and then wipe it off. Make sure you're still putting this on the side of your nose, keeping that shape. And I know I didn't put any concealer on my forehead, but I will go in and put powder. So I'm using this brush right here, and I'm just gonna go in my powder, tap it off, and just rub it on my forehead. And then we're gonna go ahead and dust this off. And for me, if I'm not wearing any eyeshadow, which I'm not gonna be doing today, then I'm going to put powder on my eyelid as well. So by now I'm having some creasing, so I'm gonna go back in with my other beauty blender and blend it out, and then go back in with the powder. So I do want to say that I know this video is titled My Everyday Makeup Look, and for some people this is a lot of makeup, and don't get me wrong, I know this is a lot of makeup, but for me, I am a makeup artist, and to me it's either no makeup or full out glam. So this would be my everyday makeup. This is my fast and easy makeup. For me, I can do all this in like 10 minutes. So that's why for me this could be an everyday. Now in today's video, I'm not going to be applying eyelashes just because I know a lot of people don't wear eyelashes for their everyday makeup look. For me, I do, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be curling my eyelashes and putting mascara on. But next, now your face might be feeling a little bit dry, so since we put all those powders, now for me, just whenever my face feels dry, whether it's after I put bronzer on or after I set my face with the powder like we just did, whenever your face just starts feeling dry, I go in with a setting mist. This is the Dewy Setting Mist by e.l.f. and I'll just go in and put a few sprays, just so it brings that hydration back in your face. Usually I like to do this after my bronzer when I'm about to put highlighter on, because it makes the highlighter more, like, it makes it pop more. Like, girl, look at that glow. But my face is feeling dry, so I went ahead and put that on right now. So next we're gonna go in with my favorite bronzer. You already know, the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. You can get this at Walmart or Walgreens or Target, wherever. And I'm going in with this Jaclyn Hill brush, so it looks like this. And I'm gonna go in. And you can kind of see where my foundation and my concealer are. And you're just gonna go right, ooh, dropping stuff. You're just gonna go right there where your cheekbone is. And this just kind of emphasizes your cheekbones. It makes it look like there's a shadow there to make you look more, okay? So for me, I pack it on more up here, and I actually put it on the sides of my forehead as well, and I kind of connect it. And I go in kind of like, I'm not going back and forth, I'm kind of going in a circular motion. I don't know if you guys can tell. This hair out the way. And then I'll go on the top of my forehead as well. Okay, to the other side. Excuse this brow, I messed it up, but like I said, I go back in and fix whatever I mess up on my brows. But I usually do that towards the end. Or just whenever. Honestly, guys, I don't... Sometimes I do my makeup in different orders. It just kind of depends. Okay, so I know some people put bronzer on their jawline to make their jawline look more sharp. But I personally don't do that. I used to do that, and I would get comments from people that it looked like my foundation didn't match my neck, so I just stopped doing it altogether. If I got a double chin, oh well. Like, it's fine. Your girl's gaining weight. It's cool. Almost forgot to contour my nose. So we're gonna go in with this Jaclyn Hill brush, and it has a very unique shape. It's That's what it looks like. And I just kind of stamp in my bronzer like this, lightly. And I just kind of stamp right under my nose, and where I told you where you're supposed to match up the front of your brow, on the sides of your nose. And I do this with such a light hand because you don't want to make harsh lines. And then I'm just going to go in with a little eyeshadow brush. It looks like this. And I'm just going to buff out those lines, bringing it up to my brow, rounding it out. Same thing on this side. Now I go back in with my setting spray. Here we go. And now I'm gonna go in with my I Love Sarahi X Dose of Colors highlighter. She's kind of broke, but she's rose gold. You already know I like my rose gold and gold shades. So I'm going in with this brush here, and I'm just setting it right on top of where we just bronzed our face. So right here, and going about halfway. So if you want a subtle glow, you could just do this, and then I also put it here. Put it a little above my brow, my forehead, a little on my chin. Same on this side. And obviously, like, you don't have to follow every single one of these steps that I'm doing. You can skip whichever ones you don't want to do. Like, if you don't want to wear a highlighter, you don't have to. If you don't want to put foundation and concealer under your eyes because it makes your under eyes look cakey, then you don't have to. Like, this is just my way of teaching you guys how I do my makeup, and you can switch it up however you like, however it applies to you, whichever way works for you and your skin. So now I'm just taking this little dome brush and I'm going in with my highlighter, and I put it right above my cupid's bow. And then for my nose, so I know some people will go in with the same brush they use on their face for highlight, but for me, I just went in and put concealer on the side of my nose and contoured my nose with bronzer. I don't want to go in with a big brush and put highlight, and just the highlight is gonna make my nose look big again. So I go in with a precise brush and put a little dot on the tip of my nose and a little line on the bridge of my nose, like an exclamation point. And if it's a little too bright, I'll just go in and tap it. Honestly, for me, that wasn't enough. Okay. And then if you want to be a little extra, I'll go in with a loose highlighter. This is from Airspun. And I'll take a bigger eyeshadow brush. It's bigger than a regular eyeshadow brush, but smaller than the highlighter brush that I was just using. It looks like this. And I just very lightly, barely touch it because this stuff is pigmented. And I just focus it in this one little spot right here. So that way when the light hits me, it's just right there. Let me show you guys on the other side. So just right here. See that? Now it's just like boom, boom. So then when you're out in the sun or you're taking pictures, you have a nice little glow right there. So now I'm gonna go in and curl my eyelashes. I'm using the Japanese eyelash curler. I'm pretty sure you all know how to curl your eyelashes, so I'll be back when I'm done curling them. So now we have them curled, I'm just gonna go in with my Go Big or Go Home Kat Von D mascara. And I guess I can get up close for you guys. So for this, I just get as close to the root as I can and I wiggle up. And it'll make your eyelashes lifted. And personally, I don't really do bottom mascara, but I can do it for you guys. It's honestly just the same steps, just from the roots and a wiggle. Now the bottom. Just from the root and wiggle. And I only do one coat just because I don't like the clumpy look. If you like the clumpy look, because I know some girls do because it makes their eyelashes look thicker, then you can go ahead and go in with 1 or 2 more coats, whatever you prefer. Since this is, I don't know if you guys can tell, the brush is like kind of thick. If I make my eyelashes too clumpy, then I'll go in with a mascara that has a thinner wand. See how thin this wand is? And I'll just go back over that, and I'll even go under the eyelash and just twist it, and it'll take the clumpiness out. Okay, so lastly for lips, I'm just gonna apply a gloss, and whenever I wear a gloss, I actually take the foundation off my lips. That's why I didn't purposely put foundations all over my lips. So I'm just gonna get a makeup wipe and wipe off my upper lip. So now I have the gloss, and we're just gonna apply this. This is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. So I do see some spots in my brows that need to be refilled in. Usually after powder, the powder gets kind of in my brows a little bit and makes them a little lighter. And I personally like my eyebrows real defined, so I'll just go back in and reline the lines that I made before. And this is the finished makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment, subscribe, click that bell icon so you can get notified every time I upload. Comment down below what you guys want to see in future videos so I know what to film for you guys. I hope you enjoyed, like I said, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.